All right. Greetings, everybody. My name is Coin. Welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. My name is Coin. Most people call me Coin. It's pretty easy to say. It's the change jingling in your pocket. So the name should be truly unforgettable. And before we begin, and I will acknowledge the comments coming in just a moment, I wanted to take the time to make sure we thank everybody who has financially been generous this month. I would like to thank Mr. Monkey Funk 4D, Mr. Rowan Darcy, and Mr. Michael DS for their Prime subscriptions. Sorry, rogue cough got in the way there. For their Prime Gaming subscriptions, you guys, I really hope you guys do enjoy all of the benefits that come along with those subscription packages. And while I do not have any patrons or one-off donations during the cycle, I would like to thank Mr. Rasby, the player, for their continued Valkyrie tier subscription. Please enjoy all the content and benefits that come along with that. You guys mean the world to me. I just want you to know that. Something should happen to me, and I'm gone and I can't continue. I want you guys to truly know that you mean the world to me and that you're all very special. Let me just adjust a couple of things here. Greetings. Welcome back, Mr. Jason. Good to see you again. Let me make sure I've got YouTube and Twitch chats rolling in. Yeah, okay. Good to see you. My apologies for the lack of replies in personal messages. Work took a lot out of me. I guess I hate calling it work because it's a client job. It's not quite work, but sitting people's dogs and waking up at very odd hours of the day sometimes it can really take a lot out of you. Mr. Jason says, "Hey, look, it's the highly anticipated return of Mr. Coin." Oh, you really are gaming for the applause early in the show now, aren't we? I think it's about time I made a couple of adjustments. I actually got the webcam correct. It's the microphone distance that's not right. Maybe. And, maybe perhaps... I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. There we go. Something like that. Man, oh man, is it good to be in front of this screen. Now, before we begin, I've got some bookkeeping and some explanations to do. Number one, I want to apologize for the length of time in which I have been gone. I really and truly mean that. That said, I did at least get paid, so I'd like to think that there was at least something worthwhile there. With the YouTube special, I did put a message out on Discord. I kind of kept it low-key, but I'm going to kind of explain this for you guys on YouTube more than anything else. I'm really thinking about redoing the subscriber special. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not really feeling enthused to record Amnesia. I don't... A large part of it is definitely the external circumstances that have been happening to me for the past, I'd say, 3, 4, 5 months. At least. Like, being mentally battered down is never a good thing to have to deal with on top of, recording a series that is supposed to be a celebration of our first 50 subscribers. I hate this. So I'm thinking of rekindling that and rebooting it with a different game. I'm going to make it the executive decision on it. that's one way in which I'm going to change things up. But I am curious if any of the folks that have seen that message or are just interested in either game have any kind of input or opinion about it. The two games I'm thinking of substituting out for Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It's a horror game. Number one, probably the thing I think people are more excited about would be Outward. I have the definitive edition. So Outward is like a survival RPG with Souls-like elements in it, but it's not exactly a Souls game. Best way I can describe it would be if Dark Souls and Skyrim and say Risen, like if that little thruple had a child, that would be what Outward is. It is awesome. I love Outward. I love the story. I love the mechanics of it. It has more depth than you think. And even though it's something that looks like it showed up out of the mid-2000s, that's kind of the whole point with Outward. It's a really fun RPG. You can even play it with a partner if you wanted. There's virtual two-player co-op. So if you and your partner to be have like the same mod setup, or even just vanilla, right? No matter what your setup is, as long as it's identical, two players can be right on the screen. Both couch co-op and virtual co-op, which I think is pretty cool. And that would be kind of a longer-winded like RPG, right? Because that's what my channel is known for, is action adventure and RPG games. I really do true think that. The other one, which I'm also sometimes known for, is Elden Ring. And for those that have been here a long time, I am an off-again, on-again challenge runner for Elden Ring, and specifically a mod called Elden Ring Reforged. It's a really awesome overhaul mod. It has tons and tons and tons of mechanical changes. It's a very technical game. I put a wiki in the Discord channel for people to look at if they're interested in knowing more. It's really too much to try to describe in a couple of sentences, but there are so many changes to that game, and I thought I would make a go at challenge running Elden Ring Reforged, but I know that rerouting runs on stream is boring. People don't like watching low stakes streams. They really don't. Like, if people take out their parasocial relationship with me, if you had to pick between someone actually doing a challenge run versus someone doing all the piloting and the planning for the challenge run, that people are picking the actual challenge run because the stakes are higher. So what I thought about then is doing a Elden Ring Reforged piloting video series where I show you guys the route on video I'm going to take through that game, and then when I get ready to stream that sort of thing, because challenge runs are best streamed live where there are no gimmicks or hub-ups, there's no cheating to be had or anything. People can go back and say, here are all the episodes of the routing you did, these are your methods, this is what you did, blah blah blah, etc., etc. Both of those are meant to kind of be longer form celebrations of what I'm already known for. Of course, if nobody has opinions, I'll make the executive decision on which one I think will do better. I apologize for all this 15-minute preamble, but I promise it'll be worth it in the long run for content. And it's good to get long-form content on YouTube. This is going to be a sit down, record, edit out the stale bits, and then upload it to YouTube. It's going to be something along those lines. But I have been thinking about that. And so if people are wondering where the heck is this message on Discord coming from, that's kind of the mindset of where it came from. Let me take a break here and just read comments. Mr. Jason says, I'm just excited to see Mr. Coin again. Thank you, good friend. Anything else is a bonus? Thank you. That means the world. So I'm not forcing anyone to like have an opinion on either of the two games. If people just genuinely don't care, I'll make a decision, which is what that sounds like, and that's totally fine. I love it when people are here for me, but with YouTube or content creation in general, you're constantly having to kind of dip your toe in every time you want to make a video on something. Every single time, it's kind of a guess to see what the algorithm will or won't like. And also editing an hour footage at a time is going to be rough. So I'm going to have to figure out how I want to go about that. I have seen people use an AI editing algorithm for videos like this, and I am considering doing that just because I want to be able to keep up and not spend an hour editing a video when I can't even think of a substantive joke to put in it. But backdoor, behind the scene, viewer, don't care. Nobody needs to care about it other than me. Now, I got all that bookkeeping out of the way in terms of like meta level stuff. Let's talk what I did in my off time when I was quote unquote off time at the client job. So we are in the depths. We did not start off there. We started off back in Hateno Village after we had ground up a bunch of the upgrades for the Purah Pad. We did all that. It took us like 2 hours, and then we started doing some other stuff. What I basically did is I did less farming than you guys think. I really did not do all that much. I basically just farmed a couple of horns. And I promise I'll read that comment in just a second. Trying to think of where this was. No, I think the only significant things I actually managed to farm were up in the depths. Like I did a surface lap, but I found two things that we're going to check out first before we return back to the surface and continue doing what we were doing, because we still have the whole quest with CC and Reese, I think his name is. CC and Reese, we got that to do. We haven't even checked out the Hateno pasture yet. We haven't even checked out the inn yet. There are quite a few things left to do. But there's this Giga Clan hideout that we kind of flew over, but never actually did anything with. And then there's this other thing where it is a level 3 flux construct. I bumped into that and parked here in the event I never got a chance to farm again, which, as you guys can see, outside of that one lap, never really got a chance to farm again. I farmed a little bit of ore, but not like oodles and oodles of it. Again, work took a lot out of me. I do apologize about that. Mr. Jason says, it doesn't have more depth than Tears of the Kingdom, though, Kappa. I mean, fair. Don't you usually check out the inn when you leave it? I am truly blessed to have an audience of spinsters, everybody. I have two comedians. They're basically comedians. That's not all they do, but... Mr. Shiny and Mr. Jason both spin jokes way better than I do. And, whenever my other moderator can happen to be here, they too spin jokes. Not quite like these, but enough. Similar ilk and everything. Now, we got... I'm gonna go ahead, because I've never fought a Flux Construct level 3 before. If the 2 was anything to go by, the 3rd is surely going to be worse. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop up this nice little overlay I've made, along with a command. Because I have no idea how involved that's gonna be. Do wish me luck? Nah, lol. Flux Construct 3s are easy peasy. I sure hope so. No, wrong one. Ah, there you are. Wow, you're right. This actually is easy. Oh, rocket time? Rocket time. Nice. Well, when everyone's right, they're right. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy? Large crystallized... Oh, well, you know what? If nothing else, we've actually unlocked a new type of area to farm. Now, I'm really curious what kind of attack power this thing is gonna have. And we aren't gonna need the regular old mining equipment anymore. So why don't we... We can unstaple this if we find a better stick to put this on. Well, that was number one. That one was pretty easy. This one is going to take a little more work, not too much more work. We have the flying machine and everything. I would have made aircraft, but again, work took a lot out of me. I'm also going to go ahead and, like, before I get too carried away, right? I am going to have to cut the stream an hour early today. There are some things that have been happening in my personal life that have caused me to have to move up schedules today. So I have time to stream, but at about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is about when I'm going to have to cut it off. Give or take like 5 or 10 minutes. I want to make sure I've sent out some prerequisite emails for the thing I need to do, as well as make the necessary phone calls I need to make. I want to make sure I make those. But I promised you guys that come hell or high water, I would stream, and I meant that. I want people to sincerely know. I may be tired, because I am tired. I almost slept past the stream today. I am tired, but I am here. I am here. You guys mean the world to me. Streaming to everyone brings me a certain level of abject joy that's just hard to replace. Hard to replace by other means. Yeah, I thought that probably wouldn't last too particularly long. Come on, Link, on the boat, on the aircraft. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Here's the Yiga clan fortress or hideaway, and I had bumped into it earlier and debated whether or not I wanted to. Why is this unlocked? Oh no, it's not this, it's something else. What? But I never killed anything here. Yiga schematic, a scrolled schematic for contraption. All right, what did we get? Floodlights. Interesting. Well, that's the schematic, but what other fun thing did we get? Crystals. Okay. I'm at the place. What gives? Why did this unlock? Would anyone happen to have an explanation for that? I'm telling you, I did not. I even took photos of the thing if people want me to prove that. I did not touch a single Giga clan member anywhere at all. Is it one of those, you see the thing, you warp away and come back and it's like the flag broke? Things worth checking out or researching over Reddit during break. Mr. Coin, what's up, Mr. Jason? Wow, that is a really funny, like, visual glitch. You're playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, but with a twist? Ooh, what sort of twist? I know my sibling sometimes plays that and imposes challenges on themselves. So I'm genuinely curious. It appears that some of the monsters in the area have been mining for the ore particular to the depth. Our fellow Yiga have found them working in large numbers around mineral deposits and even carrying those ores. But why? Could the ore have some special use? Glory to Master Koga. A random, quad observation number 95, I guess. Mr. Jason says, I have begun a new island today on my Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons edition. Oh, on like the specifically themed Switch, right? Okay, that is all done and taken care of. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do, I knew there was a reason I had, it was more than just the Yiga clan. So, down here is a mine. I want to get that mine unlocked and visible on the map so that I can farm it during off time, because who doesn't like adding mining sites to the collection? Plus, I get to demo I get to really demo the device I had tried to show off in a cave earlier. Like, what? That would be 10 days ago? Something like that? You've been truly awesome, Mr. Airship, but we are now ready. We are now ready to do this. A little more expensive, but it's worth it. Assuming, of course, it doesn't tip fully into the ground. Come on, Link, get up there. Hey there, Michael Diaz. Welcome on in. My apologies for the slight delay in reply there. But, good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well in body and mind, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Work was busy. It was mentally, actually, it wasn't too mentally taxing. It was mostly physically taxing. I mentally taxed myself, as I've kind of alluded to in my 5th vlog. Like, that type of stuff is just constantly on my mind now. It's hard to get decent sleep when you're constantly worrying about things, but I'm surviving. I'm still here. Work itself, fine. The lovely lady dogs kept me company, and the lovely ladies were quiet, easy to work with, and not rambunctious whatsoever. The clients that I did this work for, their dogs are usually really well behaved. They listen to commands. If I have to get the newspaper beater, they definitely listen to that. But usually just talking at them and bribery with treats is more than enough. Now, before anyone, blows a gasket, the newspaper beater is not to hit the dog. The newspaper beater is to make a really loud noise. It's like a thick rolled up magazine held together with a rubber band. So you just smack it against your hand or something and it makes a loud noise. It gets their attention. Because dog brains they focus in on one thing. It's not that they can't hear or can't process, but sometimes they're just they're too busy barking at something or wanting to get involved with something, and you need some loud noise that isn't too scary to snap them out of whatever they're doing. They usually listen to that if nothing else. And of course, they also have a cat. The cat was kind of clingy this time, but that's an improvement over the last couple of jobs where, the cat is like, okay, human, whatever. Feed me, empty my auto box that the clients have graciously paid for. Maybe occasionally I'll deign to let you play with me. That sort of thing. So it was a nice change of pace. I found the clinginess a little bit, it's not like too rough, but it's kind of hard to sleep when you're worried about a cat perching on your chest the whole time. There we go, right over here. All right, Link, if at first you don't succeed, try again. There we go. Just put it inside the cave and watch this thing go to work. I'm glad that things didn't end in catastrophe. You really didn't have to stretch, so I'm not giving out the sure Jan yet, but I am keeping an eye on the ones that we know we have to strain for, and those are the ones that get a nice groan-worthy sure Jan. What the heck? So what I'm discovering with the machine is that I need a better machine. I didn't make this myself. You copy it right from the Yiga Forge, hideout where you beat Master Koga. You can literally just copy the machines you see there. I find this a bit awkward. A bomb is generally going to be better for breaking up these things. Of course, you also blow the sediment absolutely everywhere. Yep, see, kind of have to, really kind of ram this thing in, and even then, it's no guarantee that... It's no guarantee. Alright, I think what I have learned here is that this thing is not very good. How are things in your slice of terra firma, aka planet Earth, Michael DS? I'll also extend that question to anyone else, though. How are things where you guys are, given how dark and sensitive these times truly are? And I guess we can sort of consider this, a little bit of on-stream farming. Could be worse, right? I probably won't farm all the sediment. I just wanted to at least try to demonstrate the machine in an environment that's a little bit more reasonable for it. But I think what I'm learning is I need to probably find a better design to work with in terms of like in terms of the machines for mining. Wow, so many bombs just to clear this sediment. But yeah, thank you for that. I had a lot of spaghetti. Whenever I didn't have spaghetti, I had imitation crab sandwiches. I thought for just a moment there might have been ore here, but I think that was just Tulin wanting to activate again. Okay, so there is a chest over here. Let's go see what it is, and then we can at least get out of here. I wanted to say that we at least had access to the mine more than anything else. Sea Breeze Boomerang. A boomerang said to have been used by a hero who traveled the Great Sea. It smells faintly of salt water. What? Is this like a amiibo item? I think we're looking at an amiibo item here. I've never bumped into anything like this in Breath of the Wild, so I feel pretty confident it's an amiibo item that was, you know, entered into the game baseline. Michael Diaz says, speaking in general, I'm good still with the problem about what to do for a living, but you're otherwise fine. Hey, if that's the only problem you have, and it is a big problem to be sure, I'm glad that that's the only real problem you have to contend with, and I'm confident you'll solve it. Have you done any more? Let's try that again without getting tongue-tied. Have you done any more looking around since the last time we talked about this? Just curious. Please don't feel compelled to answer that if you don't want to, but we did discuss it before about like specific courses or like degree programs that the university of choice might have and so on. Okay, now that we've done that, now that we've explored the things I wanted to explore, let's return back to Hateno Village and figure out the quests that we need. Let's figure out if we're picking a side when we talk to Cece about these things, or not. Hashtag not sponsored by Cheerwine. And wearing clunky armor is nice for traveling around every which way, but I like my Sheikah set. I do like sneaking around. Okay, so what quests do we have here? Reed wants to make the food. Let's see. That might not even be what it is. Give Reed voters some mushrooms to open her eyes. According to her, Reed voters are identified by unfashionable clothing. And then we had... Oh, I suppose I didn't fully recap. We did also spend a good chunk of time in Tarrey Town. We finally got that service unlocked last time we were streaming. It's like a tiny thing compared to the Purah Pad. It's super tiny compared to the Purah Pad. I think the Purah Pad was kind of the star of the show. We're gonna go rest at the inn. Wherever that is, I think that's over here. And then we're going to try finding people to talk to. Hey there, welcome to Tom Poo Inn. Whoops, tripped over my own tongue here. I was a traveler myself until not too long ago, so I'm still getting the hang of this innkeeper stuff. Never thought I'd give up the wandering lifestyle for the girl who ran the inn, no less. Oh, yeah, good on you, War10. Nice job, you know, finding a real keeper. That way that little creep stalking girls here in Hateno Village had to find someone else. Good on you. Let me stop right here. You signed up in a university for accounting, but notice that you don't want that, so you canceled the matriculation. You were scammed, TBH. Did the university try to, like, tempt you with a really good deal? Or were they unclear in telling you what they offered? Did you have to, you know, come in behind them and do a lot of looking around? Did you have to talk to people? Just curious. I know that's what my sibling did when they were, you know, shopping around for universities and colleges that would, that dealt in environmental sciences. And even then, I would probably argue that, you know, our two-state area is not really known for the environmental sciences unless it is golf lawn management. Sorry. I'm making fun of the geriatric two-state area I'm in. I'm ribbing people a little bit. I live in a part of the U.S. that's really known for the golf courses. Like PGA Tours and World Opens are sometimes done at that golf course. It's pretty nice, but it does suck the industry from everywhere else to literally make it happen. Golf courses are not good for the environment, ladies and gentlemen. Michael DS says, you didn't go to the class, you asked for a refund. They said that they will give the refund, but they didn't. You didn't even sign the contract, so yeah, in your opinion, it was very unfair. Very unfair? Yeah. That's rough. I'm sorry that the scamming happened. I hope that the... I mean, we all know what the real answer here is, but I'm going to say the obvious placation anyway. I hope that the university, you know, eventually is responsible and either does pay you back, or, you know, they get caught, they get fined, they get, I don't know how different it is in Brazil when it comes to, like, accountability for scholarship and university or higher ed programs, but I do sincerely hope that they're made to account for that. Although now, every time I show my face around there, she demands to know why I'm not wearing CC brand clothes, so I'm keeping my distance until the fad dies down. Oh, but I've been talking your ear off. Are you staying here? Yeah, so a regular bed is 20 and a soft bed costs 30 rupees. Soft bed? Take it from me, a soft bed is way more comfy than a regular one. You wake up ready to walk halfway across Hyrule. There's nothing like it for the stamina a traveler needs. Got it. Take care, brother. You need something else? Something not related to the inn? Let me fix your girlfriend problem, okay, buddy? Sorry about that. Had to cover up another cough. And you had to pay a tax to cancel, of course, like a fee for a cancellation fee. Yeah. Like, canceling a course is like, that's kind of bog standard for university. Anytime you got to cancel a course and you have to kind of do it last minute or short notice, or sometimes just to cancel it at all, there's a cancellation fee. It kind of stinks. You're really disincentivized from canceling courses, but hey, if you don't want to do it, if you're not interested in the course, gotta do what works for you. when you were there, you just accepted because there's nothing to do? So since you ultimately did refuse, like you did cancel the course, right? Like just following conversation here, do you have a different university that you're going to? Are you like taking a what we would call a sabbatical, or like a bit of a work gap before you really know or really have the answer to that? Or just curious. I apologize if I'm asking something you don't have answers to. I don't want to make anyone feel frustrated, or anything. I really don't. But I'm just curious to know where your mind is on these things. Have a Hylian shroom, good sir. Ooh, for me? Thanks. My wife loves CC stuff, so I'll save it as a treat for her. I'm not too into the designs myself, but she's pretty pleased with them. And she does look incredibly cute when she wears them too. Yeah, that CC is all right in my book. And not the only one. Koyan from the farm on the hill said the same thing. We have 7 mushrooms left to give. Let's talk to the lovely lady. I can almost make out what they're saying. Misku, or is it Nisko? It's still too muffled. Whatever it is, they're definitely talking about the treasure. And given the source, the prize must be some outrageously stylish clothes. I have to know more. Oh, hello. We're gonna not do that. Please tell me that door shuts. Yep, there we go. Come on, let me actually, like, listen in. They're gonna make me, maybe we have to hear them out first. We went to the dye shop, the pasture, and the lab, but we weren't able to make it to the cave where Misko's treasure is supposed to be. But since we know which roads lead to the cave, we can go there next time. How sure are we that Misko's treasure really exists? The clothing collection that he spent his whole life amassing, hidden away in dank old caves, sounds a little far-fetched. You say his whole life, but we don't know that Misko was a he, or even if they were real. Come on, this is an adventure. You've got to stop overthinking it and let your heart get swept up in the romance. Fam, I'm just gonna come out and say it. If your adventure involves dank, dusty, dark caves, maybe think about it a little bit so that you don't end up consigning yourself to death. That would sort of be a really bad thing. Please don't do that. Michael DS says, but like you said to your mom, it's better this is happening now than doing the course for like a year and canceling after all that time. Yup, you figured out right away that it was not something you wanted to do and rather waste thousands of your own currency. I was about to say dollars. Thousands of your own currency on this, or maybe hundreds of your own currency on this. You figured out right away and you cut it short. That's smart decision making. Rather only a little bit of wasted time and a little bit of wasted money than a whole lot of it. That's good decision making. Absolutely applaudable. Oh, I think I just coughed into the mic there. I'm so sorry. I thought I had pressed the button. Mr. Jason says, I did get 2 Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons Edition, Mr. Coin, but you managed to get a full CIB box out of both of them? 21 out of 21 items? CIB? What CIB stand for? I've parsed the rest, I just don't know what that acronym means.
Wow.
Complete in box. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Complete in box item. So everything that comes with the Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons Edition Switch boxes. Okay, that makes sense. Are you here for a room? I'd be happy to attend to you at the counter. I'll only be a moment. I couldn't quite hear what they were saying about the treasure today either. If only those three weren't so hush-hush about it. To think you've come a long way, madam, from being awkwardly canvassed by a creepy dude in town. That's 5 years is a long time in this particular version of Hyrule. Mr. Jason says one of them even included the, albeit used, the original Animal Crossing New Horizons digital download code card, Mr. Coin. Download code card? Oh yeah, I forget that Animal Crossing kind of already did the whole virtual card thing before virtual cards through Nintendo were like officially a thing. They do a lot of they do a lot of like package bundle deals and scan codes and things like that. Michael Diaz says your mic doesn't get your cough loud. Thank you. I appreciate that. So at least it's not the end of the world if you guys do hear a cough. But I always feel bad because I'm usually pretty good about muting my mic on these things. Heck, I've even got a nice little command for all keyed up on a hotkey here, and I could have even pressed that. But that's nice to know I have the latitude for these things if I really need it. Mr. Jason says, you have a fun fact? Go ahead, Mr. Jason. Tell me all about your fun fact. The Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons Edition bundle in the UK and Europe included a download copy of the game, whereas the US bundle does not. Interesting. Oh, I guess we could talk to a few more of the inhabitants. It's like morning. Yeah, so because it's like morning, we should actually start at the beginning of town and work our way up. Dang, I guess our stage abilities are not online in towns. Yuck. Oh well. It doesn't surprise me that the US copy or the US version doesn't include bundles of anything. We just usually get less in collector's bundles, period. Unless the company is truly like stand up or values its customers highly. Like a lot of collector box items tend to be oh, look at all these digital things you've got that don't amount to much, or things on Steam that hold no value, or similar things, or like the occasional pen or pin or something else. If Link needs help, he can ask Tulin, Sidon, Riju, and Yunobo for sage advice. Okay, you didn't really stretch. I kind of gave you the setup. However, that is getting a slow clap, though. Good work on that. Good work. Stretch the tiniest of stretches to make that work. But it was a good one. Michael DS says, personally, I don't mind if you cough without muting. After all, everyone coughs. I appreciate that latitude. The main reason I mute it is for folks watching the VOD more than anything. Like people on YouTube, people wearing headphones really don't like the coughing and sneezes. I'm a content creator myself, so I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't mind if that stuff's not muted. Just don't have like a really gangly cough. If you're gonna blow your nose, for example, maybe mute the mic. Stuff like that. There's like a fine line to it, right? Oh, hi again. I was afraid you were up to no good coming to the village at this hour. and cleaning up to take my mind off of things until morning comes. At first light, it'll be my son Tebow's turn to take over on watch duty. He does the job more like my husband used to do. Checking for suspicious people, guiding visitors around the village, that sort of thing. If you still need something, shroom. You brought this from Cece? Wow, thank you. There's a lot of ways you can prepare mushrooms. They're tasty on their own, too. I just like them, okay? But that's when they're food. When you make them fashion, you lose me. It wasn't so long ago that... Goodness, I do be coughing a lot today. It depends. Like, yeah, I think there's a fine balance. I guess I can ask this. If we're on the subject of, like, coughing and sneezing into microphones, where do you guys personally draw that line? You hear that off in the distance, my senators and inductees? That is an ad storm. In about 5 minutes, it'll blow over us, and then we can get right back to the gaming. Thanks. That, my fine friend, is the call... is the 5-minute warning before the commercial break. I do want to thank everyone for hanging out today so far. I really do appreciate it. If you guys like this content and hadn't considered doing so already, please consider subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch or both. There are a couple of easy clicks, and doing that really helps the channel out way more than you know. If you are liking on YouTube, please also consider leaving a algorithmically appropriate comment. Otherwise, those likes don't count. The whole combating viewbot spam bot thing, basically. That's why I'm asking that. The commercial breaks are roughly 3 minutes long. At the top of every hour, there will be a nice timer at the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Once that timer dissipates or disappears, I'll be back at my desk and we can pick up right where we left off. I highly encourage everybody to take those stretch breaks for themselves, because I'm doing that too. The stretch breaks are for everyone. It's the way I mitigate pre-roll. Not only is it the way I mitigate pre-roll, but it's a way of getting around the incentive system that Twitch has in place for people that are like, oh, are you annoyed about those ads? Buy a subscription. I want to earn my subscriptions. I don't want them to be because I induced FOMO in my audience or something. I want people to subscribe because they like what I do. They like the games that we're playing. They like the environment that I've cultivated, and so on. I don't want it to be because FOMO, even though that is an effective business model. Mr. Jason says, I'm glad Cece didn't place too many of those statues. If she did, there wouldn't be much room for anything else. The jokes. There's an ever-flowing fountain of jokes in my chat, everybody. It wasn't so long ago that doing stuff like that was completely unheard of here. The farm families didn't know what to make of it either. Can you blame them? No, not really. But, the town mayor shouldn't be hating on her just for, trying to make the place a bit more fashionable and bring in tourists and money. I get that people you don't have to care about money. I think it's preferential if you don't care about money. However, wanting to make money and wanting to, increase your clothing brand is not a bad goal. These things, when they're not at scale, are really not a big deal. It's if people go above and beyond or use nefarious means to grow their businesses or shoehorn people in that aren't interested. That's where I think I would personally draw a line. There's cultivating a business, and then being a capitalist venture bro, and then there's being a, I'm going to undercut as many people as possible in order to make a business, and I'm going to create the problems for which my business will come in and save the day. Like when you manufacture your demand, that's where I would really draw those lines. Oh, it's you again. Oh, he's wearing the hat, right. Neither. You're not here for neither of those, then maybe you want Hateno's famous dye shop by the bridge? Oh, but some folks come around looking for the research lab. Right. Right. Okay. We've already read all this. Mr. Jason says, have you heard of the board game Scrabble, Mr. Coin? I do. I have a box of it. At the house. You're wearing the hat. You're wearing the outfit. I'll finish answering that after the break, Mr. Jason. Promise. Sorry about that, folks. I am back. Hopefully everybody got something they wanted out of the commercial break. Obviously not advertisements, right? But, you know, I'm hoping that you at least got the stretch break, the chance to get a snack, or do something you really wanted to do otherwise. I'm going to read or catch up on comments, and then we are going to get back to business. Mr. Jason asked the question. Yep, I was in the midst of answering that when the break happened. I'll continue answering after I've read this long one. Mr. Jason says, one of my friends went to a Scrabble tournament a few weeks ago. Awesome. And they stayed a little too late as they looked at their phone and saw that that was the last bus home. Hold on. That was the last bus home for them. It was due in 20 minutes, and they ran to catch it. On the way, some of the pieces fell out of the box. Since then, their friends from that club have been asking, "What's the word on the street?" Okay, alright, yep, I'm gonna give you this. Is it worthy of a Shurjan? No, I don't think so. Like, even though there was a setup, you weren't stretching to make this, you weren't stretching to make it work. The setup was reasonable. I like it. Good work with the joke. No Shurjan from me. I'm trying to save the Shurjans for when they're actually grown worthy. Some of the best ones require a setup. Too true, Mr. Jason. Too true. Maybe I should, oh, I have to repair the controller, because of course I do. There we go. All set up, nice and neat. See, that's Cece's place. So, probably this dude in here, right? Oh, he's wearing the hat. Okay. Let's see if we can't lock in a little bit and, lock in just a smidge. And also, like, try to get this hat quest done, because I want to get to, Navel Cave today. Good morning. You headed out early? Seems like they're getting closer to holding that election for mayor. CC's a popular choice with the youth, seems like. I suppose it's natural that things change with the times. But if it was up to me, I'd want Reed to keep doing it, the way he's always done. Have a Hylian shroom. You say this is from CC? Thank you kindly. Us old folk don't know much about what's in now, you know? I'm happy to vote for whoever for mayor if they'll fix up the village real nice. Has CC pulled ahead of Reed in the Hateno Village mayoral election due to her successful courting the youth vote? CC's platform emphasizes cultural development via fashion, while Reed has bet it all on agricultural development. CC's brand is especially popular with the younger folk in town, which may have given her a slight advantage. Okay, we've got mushroom ladies, more mushroom ladies, mushroom creep, Manny the mushroom creep, and sorry, that might have been a bit mean-spirited. Anyway, soon, Mr. Coin, my TV will have a Nintendo Switch 2, version 2, Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons Edition, Nintendo Switch OLED model, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Edition, and a Nintendo Switch 2. You just don't know where to put one of them. Oh. Do you have any kind of, like, ideas in mind? I mean, that's kind of like asking if you know where to place one, but I imagine you've got a setup where you have enough space for a few of those consoles. It's not like the Nintendo Switch was particularly big or anything. Although, you have a shelf, but it wouldn't be easily undockable. Why is it so loud? Sorry, this is definitely a me problem. Okay, that seemed to have fixed it. Why are hot-footed frogs in a house? Why is this here? What? Okay. Weird people being weird. Whatever. Wait. Yeah, he is wearing the hat. Alright. And are you wearing the hat? Yes, you are also wearing the hat. You suppose that you won't really need to undock the Nintendo Switch OLED model, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Edition, if the only game that it will have is the game with the same name. You're going for that sort of setup? Yeah, then, you know, make the Switch that's not going to be undockable, you know, toward, like, the back or whatever. The back, or toward the inside of the room, just wherever else, really. Oh no, I should not have done that. I should have just walked around. That's gonna be way faster. Okay, we have the mayor's house. That's the mayor's house. We don't want to be giving hats to them. Reed will get super mad about it. We gave a hat over there. So I think all the rest of the hats are gonna be up toward the pasture area, probably. I hope. That's only my suggestion. It sounds like you probably have it figured out. You just gotta commit to making the setup work, right? It's sort of like, oh, gee, I really want to rearrange my room. My stepmother goes through this where sometimes she'll rearrange the master bedroom and she'll hem and haw about it until she finally commits to the action of having my dad and myself, you know, help her rearrange furniture, do this or that. Well, there's lovely lady. Think it's lovely lady. Oh, a visitor. I'm sorry, I don't have it in me to be very welcoming right now. I'll take care of it later. Maybe by this evening? What's the matter? My hometown is Lurlin Village, a small fishing village along the shore southeast of here. It's been suffering constant pirate attacks. I've heard it's almost entirely destroyed. At least the villagers fled without any loss of life, or so they say. But what good is it if all their homes are destroyed? I'm afraid that the village is finished. My poor father, he was the head of Lurlin Village. That village was his whole life. If it's really gone, I'm worried that the shock could finish him. Where I'm from, we believed in welcoming everyone with a smile. That's why I don't want anyone from home to see me so down. Oh. Well, I guess we maybe had better do something about that, but that's like a long ways off, lady. You'll be alright. It sucks that the town is getting demolished, but you can always rebuild. Maybe you can't rebuild back what was once broken, but you could build it back better. That's kind of the whole deal. You want to build it back better. Okay, you're wearing a hat too. Who else is not wearing one? They probably, outside of like one or two people in the pasture, I'm definitely willing to bet that most of them are in town and I just haven't spotted them yet. I'm gonna snap a cow. What else is here? And a dog rolled over on its belly. Anyone else? A Highland sheep. We're getting a lot of photos today. And it looks like some strange object, but you can't take a picture of that. Okay. Let me catch up on chat here. You see, Mr. Coin, I had a pretty much top-of-the-range Sony 4K Blu-ray player that worked perfectly well on your old TV. But the new TV that actually has the features that it has, nope. It refuses to do the digital handshake necessary for it to show up on screen. And I can't plug it into the second HDMI 2.1 port because that's the EARC port for a sound bar. Right. I'm not used to operating TVs with sound bars, but I think I've got an idea of what you're talking about. Make sure I'm reading this in the... Let's see. Okay, no setup for a joke or anything. Yeah, so you're describing your setup to me. Since we're talking about a Sony 4K Blu-ray player, so do your consoles and stuff sit on like on top of the Blu-ray player, or does this just have nothing to do with the previous line of conversation? Just so I'm not getting my wires crossed, so to speak. Well, you're a new face around here. If I'm any judge, welcome to Hateno Pasture. Didn't think I'd be getting any visitors in this rain. You got something for me? Shrooms. Different subject entirely, Mr. Coin. Very well. Thank you for making sure I didn't fall behind. I could do that a lot. Is this from Cece? Isn't that sweet? These are tasty if you fry them up as a snack. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the gift, but me and my daughter Koyan and old man TotK don't care much about clothes. What use is fashion in the field, right? Still, I'm glad that's all you came for. If you told me you were here to pick up some fresh milk, I've bit in a tight spot. Make no mistake. Well, now that you brought it up, don't tell me you haven't heard of my farm's fresh milk. It's the best in Hateno. The secret's in the special feed I make for my cows. It gives their milk an extra little something you don't get anywhere else. Have you been spiking the feed of your animals, my dude? They don't know what that means. Coin, it's okay. Why is milk so fast, Mr. Coin? Because before you know it, it's pasteurized. That was a good one. That was an off-the-cuff quip about something that just came up. What? Wow. Expert spinster right here, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. The milk is fast because it's pasteurized. Fun fact, since we're talking about pastured milk, I'm lactose intolerant. So I have to get, I have a litany to choose from in terms of like non-dairy milk, right? But, we usually routinely get like a hyper pasteurized box kit of milk. It's like Marcel's Pantry or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's the brand name. We usually get the sweetened vanilla. I never have milk in almost any other capacity except for cereal or drinks. I want it to taste good when I'm drinking it, so we get the sweetened vanilla. I'm pretty pleased that we have hyper pasteurized milk that we don't even have to put in the refrigerator until we open it. But boy, does that stuff expire quick once you open it. So if you guys drink pasteurized milk, box or not, gotta use that stuff up quick. It'll go bad on you. I have 14 days anytime I open something like that, and then it's gone. It's not that fast, but if you're gonna like use up the full 14 days, I might recommend getting unsweetened plain hyper pasteurized milk. That would be better because you can actually cook with it. You can't cook with this stuff. You can't cook with sweetened vanilla almond milk. That just doesn't work. Mr. Jason says, I'm a Brit. We're naturally that fast. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're plains-dwelling people, us Americans. That's actually not true, but you know, most of the people that are landlocked and don't have nary a river, yeah, they're, you know, people dwell in either the hills or the valleys or the plains. It's one of those wide open spaces. Wide open spaces. Or mountains. Occasionally it's mountains. Mr. Jason says Brits have basically mastered comedy. I would say you've mastered witticism more than comedy, but then again, I have not. Maybe you're basing this off of, you know, legendary British comedians. Since you are such a spinster, Mr. Jason, I'm curious, do you have or watch, you know, any, you know, famous British comedians? Is that something you do a lot of in your spare time? And while that conversation is percolating, except I've been having trouble getting more hands on acorns to mix up any more of. Okay, you're doing the whole bacon brittle technique. Got it. There used to be tons of acorns all over the ground in the forest out back. No idea where they all went. Probably the squirrels started taking over and grabbing them all for themselves. Sometimes they'll drop the acorns they carry in their cheeks if you startle them, but they're quick little critters. I need at least 3 acorns to make my special feed, so it's a real problem for me. My daughter Koyan is always out staring into that pond, so I doubt she'd be any help gathering acorns. What is she, Narcissus? Narcissus did that, and then he died. He literally stared himself to death. He starved. You might want to go do something about that, Mr. Dance. Mr. Jason says that you have watched a little bit of comedy shows, yeah? Okay, I figured your ability to spin jokes probably comes in part from, watching other comedians ply their work. That's pretty cool. Lee Mack is amazing. Lee Evans, is it Evans or Evans? Okay, it is Evans. Lee Evans is hilarious. Even. Okay. All right. I'm being cringe.
Sure, Jan.
I'm being cringe. I'm getting the sure, Jan. Here are some acorns. I think the most comedy I probably watched was back when what's his name? It's not Brian Kibler. That's not correct. My sibling would tell me it's Dane Cook, but Dane Cook was more of something they watched. Even Jeff Dunham and his ventriloquist puppet special was not really something I started watching until they did. I'm thinking of a comedian though. I'm forgetting his name. I know the female counterpart, so I'll use her, and maybe that'll springboard me into the correct one. Her name was Sarah Silvermane. I'm pretty sure that Silverlane. Oh no, I'm embarrassing myself on live internet. I'm gonna have to look that up because the dude I'm actually trying to reference is pretty famous. He was pretty infamous for his use of a scribble board, where the common gag, one of the common gags that was always there was the good, the bad, and the interesting. I always did quite enjoy those segments. I will look it up on the next break and tell folks. Promise. No fooling. Well, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Not with me at my wit's end and all. I don't know if this rightly makes up for it, but have a bottle on me. This fresh milk comes from Hateno bred cows and white goats from all across Hyrule. It's delicious on its own, but it can be used in soups and stews. I was keeping it scrolled away, but there's no reason to be a miser about it now. I better go mix up a batch of that feed right away now that I got some more acorns. If you ever want more fresh milk, I'll swap you some for 3 acorns. Call it a special trade. Just you and me. Oh, you're about to tell me what one of Lee Evans' jokes? Sure. You're at your car and you forget your keys. You go back in to look for them. You get into the kitchen and you say to yourself, "What did I come in here for? What you asking for? Oh, what you asking you for you? Don't effing know." You find your keys and go out to the car, and your wife says, "Isn't it funny? They're always in the last place you look." Well, I wouldn't find them and keep effing looking. That is funny. See, I appreciate the censors. I do come equipped. I probably should make sure I do this. I do come equipped with censors if I really need to impress upon people that there's a really foul word. But effing, I think, is totally reasonable given what we're discussing here. But I also don't get a chance to use the censor sounds very often, so that was my excuse for showing them. That is a pretty funny joke. So it's nice to see that your humor ranges into the reaches into the adult category. Lee Evans is amazing, but he does swear a lot. Hey, from what I understand, supposedly according to stats, if you swear a bunch, it supposedly means you're actually quite intelligent. I don't buy that. I think, you know, swearing can be a natural part of language if you want it to be. It can also be overbearing. I truly do think that you can have just as much intelligence by not wasting people's time with and, you know, inserting swears as, you know, thinking a minute and saying, oh, wait, I would swear here. What can I say instead? It takes just as much intelligence to do that. I guess this is a good question to follow up with. And this is for everybody that wants to chime in. Swearing. Where do you fall in that category? Do you swear bunches? Do you swear not at all? I have two different answers. On mic, now that I'm older and, you know, I've been doing this a while, I really don't swear all that much. I might yet say the occasional damn or something, but that's really about it. In private, though, especially internally in my head, oh no. That place has to be continually sanitized. I swear a lot up here. If I'm saying something really polite and I'm in a stressful situation, there's a good chance that I'm probably swearing in the background. Mr. Jason says it depends on the context for you. Fair enough. I think that's where most people would sit as well. It's usually context dependent. If you're acting in relation to the TCC, then it's a no, for sure. Yeah, that checks out. That makes a lot of sense. But we also got prize cows. You gave Dance the acorns, and he gave you a bottle of fresh milk to express his gratitude. If you bring him another 3 acorns, he'd be willing to make the same trade for more fresh milk. I'm sunk without it. How do I fix this? Do I dive into the pond? There's no way. Not with all this rain, huh? What's with that blank stare? Oh, you must be a customer. What's that you've got there? A shroom? From Cece, huh? But I can see you mean well enough with the gift, so I'm happy to accept. Thanks. Sorry, but if you're here on farm business, you'll have to talk to my dad at the farm. I need to get my hands on that message bottle floating in the pond quick. I finally found the letter my great-grandpa left, but can't reach for it. My arms are too short, pond's too deep to swim, and anyways, I don't know how. But that letter has the advice I need to get this farm back on its feet. If I don't get my hands on it, we're sunk. This may or may not be a job for the handy-dandy hovercraft. I finally found the letter that my great-grandpa left, but then I went and dropped the bottle in the water. Can't reach... Oh, right. Yeah, that's it. All right. All right, let's grab... What on earth is going on here? Oh, no. Oh, is this meant to be on, like, sand? I think it's meant to be on sand. Mr. Jason, Lee Evans, my phone will ring at 2 in the morning, and my wife will look at me and go, who's that calling at this time? I don't effing know. If I knew that, we wouldn't need the bloody phone. Gee, you know who that reminds me of? Now that I'm thinking on it? Everybody Loves Raymond. It's like this funny sitcom show. Gotta be a way to make this, like, design better. It just, like, sinks when I use it. Let me not press forward. Let's just staple this on here. I'll send you some Lee Evans videos later or tomorrow if you'd like. Sure. You can, if you've got links to that stuff over Discord, I'm more than happy to take a look at it. Even more so now that I don't have exhausting client job, rattling me every which way. New specialty with mayor, cheese, fermentation, can't name, too early. Really? Talk. I told you, whatever you're after, I'm too busy to... Huh? I brought your bottle back. Calm down. But yeah, everybody loves Raymond. It was a, sitcom show about a married couple and they're like, I believe it was either their son or two children, along with his brother in like in a neighboring house, and like his parents. It kind of like, what do I put it? Is it like a modern day version of Family Matters? God, I'm trying to remember sitcoms I haven't watched too much of. Old American TV. But that's what that joke kind of makes me think of. I could imagine Raymond, that being something, Raymond might have said to his wife in like an off-quipping aside while he kind of looks more toward the camera than at her. It's... Oh, that's an old show. Am I starting to get an interest in old sitcoms? I hope to God not, but... Oh, that's life. I must be getting old if I'm doing that. That's my great-grandpa's message bottle, but how did you fish it out for me? Thanks. There should be a letter in this bottle with advice for getting our farm back on its feet. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. Gosh, I miss great-grandpa's handwriting. His penmanship was so messy that no one but him and his family could read it. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. New specialty with mayor. Cheese fermentation, can't name too early. Yeah, this could work. Sorry to run, but I want to put great-grandpa's advice into practice right away. If you need me, I'll be back at the house.
Hey.
It's right over there, by the way. Come by a bit later so I can thank you for the help. If I play my cards right, I can start making a new signature product. It'll be good not just for our farm, but for the whole village. I'm itching to get started. You retrieve the message bottle containing a letter from Koyan's great-grandfather after reading them over. Reading it over, Koyan has big plans for the farm. She asked you to come to the house later in order to receive your reward. So we've got the culinary stuff, and we've also got, the lovely lady making cheese. That's really neat. Can I talk to you right now, though? Ah, good, you showed up. Take a look at this. Is it cheese? Is it cheese? Is it cheese? Yes, it's cheese. I was waiting for this. It was one of the things I knew about. People kept hyping up making pizza. I think we even have most of the ingredients to make it if we want. Maybe. I call it Hateno cheese. That message my great-grandpa left behind had the recipe. It's springy on the outside but melty on the inside. It's so delicious, you'll think you're dreaming. But back to the reason I called you here. It's, well, I couldn't have made this without you, so I wanted you to be the first to have some. Anyway, consider this my thanks. Go on, take it already. A cheese made from Hateno cow's milk. Add it to a warm dish and enjoy its rich flavor and melty texture. I am a huge Swiss and pepper jack cheese person. Or like a good sliced mozzarella. Here's something. Now, I say this being lactose intolerant. There are some things I'm willing to be in pain for. Cheese is one of them. I won't eat gob tons of the stuff, but, a good slice on a sandwich or, baked into some goods, sign me up. Here's a question I can ask. Does anyone else like cheese? And if so, what's their favorite? Now I talked about sliced cheese, but my personal favorite cheese is blue. Oh, I know. Blue, ew, stinky, pungent, spicy, nutty, gross. Cheese shouldn't be nutty. It should be cheesy and salty. But if you've never had blue cheese baked into something, you would never know what it tastes like. It's acidic, it's pungent, it's got a little bit of bite to it. You can have it as crumbles over a salad. You could have it stuffed into chicken, which is my personal favorite way to have it. Oh. And even if you don't like blue cheese, if you like feta, you're halfway there to liking blue cheese. Blue cheese has too much bite. You know how they make that stuff? They blue wash it with bacteria. They literally give cheese bacterial spray. It produces mold, and the mold is what characteristically makes the cheese taste the way it does. That's what brie is. There are many kinds of like soft cheeses that have been white and brown washed with bacteria, and that's how the cheese is made. It isn't just milk a cow, add some spices to the milk and some salt and let it sit there and ferment and you have cheese. No, sometimes you use bacteria instead, or as a part of a complete balanced breakfast in a cheese recipe. It's there's just nothing like a crumbly bit of melted blue cheese.
Yeah.
Did I read it? It said something about rich flavor and melty texture. As I understand it, Great-Grandpa worked with the mayor back then on this Hateno cheese to put our village on the map. But it was ahead of its time. The villagers rejected it. Having eaten this, I think they were nuts. Now is the time for Hateno cheese to make a splash in the culinary world. I'm sick of fashion getting all the attention lately. It's really eating into our business. But if anything will bring the customers in, it's this. I'd say it's time to do some renovation around here. Maybe here's good? No, I like it better this way. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, is this the other half of the quest? Ta-da! The Hateno cheese shop is complete. What do you think? Cheesy. Mr. Jason says we have another British comedian here named Al Murray, and he made a video called Name a Country. We've defeated them. Someone said Canada, and Al Murray said, ah, yes, Canada. They used to be part of the British Empire, which means that they are an ally of ours. And as you know, being an ally of ours counts as losing to us. I'm gonna give you the slow. Well, I mean, he made the video, he made the joke, right? God, that aged like milk. Like, that particular joke aged like milk, and and you know, if it weren't for 2025, I wouldn't say that, but oh God, sometimes recent history hits hard, you know what I'm saying? The next step is to get those folks over at the general store to start stocking it. That reminds me, you won't get this offer anywhere else, but around here, I'll give you some for fresh milk instead of rupees. I'll make the dream my great-grandpa gave up on come true, and this farm will be busier than ever in the bargain. So, you'll come visit me again, right? The message in the bottle described a special cheese-making recipe. Koyan has already decided to start marketing it as her farm's signature product. From now on, if you bring her fresh milk, she'll give you Hateno cheese in exchange. But I can buy it for money. If I want to. Thanks to you, my great-grandpa's dream of a uniquely Hateno cheese wasn't lost. I'm really and truly grateful for that. This might sound out of the blue, but do you want some Hateno cheese? I'd be fine giving you some if you want, and don't worry if you can't afford it. I'll accept fresh milk as trade. For customers willing to trek directly to the pasture, it's the least I could do. I'm looking to buy. I will take all of them. It's my entire stock of those. 160? Yeah, we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. Thank you for buying out my stock. I'm sure that joke, right? I'm sure at the time, you know, that got a lot of laughs, and it was pretty funny. And I'm not saying it couldn't be funny, but right now, oof. Could not be me. I would not dare make that joke now, given, you know, the state of American and Canadian relations. I just wouldn't even... I would not crack that one. And if Murray continued to crack that, or I assume he's still living, so if he does crack that joke again, I hope he, like, tinkers or does something with it. I'm gonna wear out my gratitude muscles if I keep thanking you so much. Don't worry, I'll make more cheese. I mean, I basically just make it for you. Okay, so here we have cheese, Tabanthan wheat, and tomatoes. I believe we have some. Do we have a cook pot nearby? I don't think so. I think we have to go somewhere else for a cook pot. Yeah, we have to go somewhere else for the cook pot. That's fine. This was the big thing I really wanted to do, was make cheese. Because I know people have been waiting for this. So I know we just read a recipe card plastered to a wall in a house, right? But let's say you didn't have that recipe card, but you still wanted to make the pizza. Boy, do I have a resource for you guys in this regard. For you guys on Twitch, if you type in TotK INGINFO, that'll get you access to both the ingredient metadata information, like the effects and stuff, as well as the spreadsheet containing all of the recipe information. It's pretty nice. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. For you guys on YouTube, I'll have to demo this one. I'm not allowed to make such big commands like I am in Twitch chat. So for you guys on YouTube, if you type in asterisk TOTKINGREC, you'll get the exact recipe spreadsheet that I'm using. Let's see if I got that correct. I typed it in right. Did I not sign in effectively? Hold on, I gotta check this. Oh, those are actions. I need commands. Oh, did I capitalize it by mistake? I might have done that. No? Let me try and test this then. I'll have to figure out why it's not, working. Can I test this? Okay. That was weird. I'm not sure what the hookup for that is, but there you guys go. There's the spreadsheet. I'll have to tinker around with that command later. But yeah, we saw the recipe card on the wall, so we don't need that for this. But it is worth, you know, having this resource in case you absolutely really need it. So we have the cheese, we have the wheat, tomatoes are probably here somewhere. Yeah, we have plenty of those. And let's see, what do we want here? How about we make a basic pizza first? That is not correct. Wheat. Oh, did I set it down somewhere? I hope it didn't go rolling down the hill. It might have, though. Hylian tomato pizza. A pizza made with fresh Hylian tomatoes, slices of melty Hateno cheese, make it irresistible. Okay, so we're going to try not spazzing with the controller. We're gonna hold the ingredients and we're gonna add. Let's see. Let's add 2 hearty truffles. Where did I go wrong here? Interesting. I wonder if it's because of the mushrooms. Coin, hey there, Mr. Bear Type. Welcome on in. Good to see you again, good sir, after these past 10 days. I am, in fact, still alive. Thank you for asking. I realize that is a joke, but I am, in fact, alive. How are you in both body and mind? I hope you enjoy your stay. It's nice to see. It's nice to see you again. Really, truly. How have I been? I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay. I recently came back from a house sitting job. I was pretty exhausted. I was still tired yesterday, so between that and just like the gastric issues, I opted to skip stream yesterday. I just didn't think I could chuff it when I was right. I didn't stop sitting on the porcelain toilet until around 6 o'clock at night. I would have been miserable the entire time on camera. I would have hated my existence the entire time. And then Friday, or today, I was pretty close to missing stream again, but just general tiredness. I'm here, I'm alive. I'm gonna do my best to entertain everyone and get us energized and all that. But exactly, I made it. It's the important part. I think the stew is new. A dish of fragrant mushrooms simmered with tomato, healthy and rich in fiber. Interesting. So I think it's the fact that the pizza, oh, yeah, I think it's the fact that the pizza recipe is relatively selective. Let's see. What if I maybe throw in some meat on this? So I'm making some food now, just a little bit. I'm just testing out the new pizza recipe. Okay, so pizza is pizza. I wish it were more detailed than that, but no. It's just tomato pizza that restores a lot of hearts. If I throw in an actual thing that has an effect on it, it seems to want to make something else. Mr. Bear Type says, so you making some food now? You really want to make pizza? You just got the Hateno cheese quest? Yep. Bit of fresh milk, or I'm sorry, not fresh milk. There's like a whole separate quest involving it. It's not too hard to do. It's relatively like down over there somewhere. Meat pizza? I tried to make a different pizza just to see, but all I did was make the same pizza but increase the health count. So like the base pizza, right? Like the base recipe is 6 hearts, so pizza's like pretty good for the ingredients you have to use on it. So when it restores three times as many hearts, really it's just, this is what prime meat did to the whole thing. 6 is still good baseline though. Pastures are great, huh? They've got so many cows. Yes, but only in Hateno Village are the cows as stylish as everyone else. So what are we in the mood for? Cheese or milk? Mr. Bear Type, since you're here, I'll go ahead and put out another bolo on this. I am going to be cutting my stream a little bit early today. We probably have about another hour and 10 minutes, roughly, before I cut stream. I've got a lot of emails I got to send out, and I'm headed out of town tonight, just to have some fun with friends. Like, it's not only work-related stuff, but it's also me going outside and touching grass after spending 8 days inside someone else's house, feeding their pets, cleaning their stuff, and sleeping on a really, really bad wireframe bed. Really bad. I need some human company. And only human friends will do. But I wanted to make sure I pushed through and at least tried to stream today. And I really do want to thank everyone for hanging out with me. I know, sadness. That said, I am going to try to make it up by streaming on Sunday. I know tomorrow I have some things I'm going to do with friends. But Sunday, I'm free. So I think I might do a makeup stream then. Okay, what am I doing? Let me talk to you. Ooh, am I smelling things, or do I detect a certain unique pungent aroma? Have some cheese. This is it. This is just what I've been looking for. My grandfather developed it with a fellow villager. Hateno cheese, of course. It makes sense that my grandfather would have been working with someone from the farm up there. It's a miracle that Koya not only found the recipe, but managed to reproduce it. But this is great news. It's a clear sign that we ought to make Hateno cheese a new village staple. That ought to swing the election for me. Let me pay you for that cheese, okay? Hey, I mean, we bought 8 units of cheese and basically got like 5/8 of that back. Believe me, it's worth every rupee. Now then, I should get in touch with Koyan so we can start preparing for mass production. I'll ask the Hateno Village General Store and some traveling merchants to add it to their wares too. Shouldn't take much more than that to tip the election my way. You should come out to watch it happen. It seems Reed's grandfather had worked with another villager to make Hateno cheese. I'll read that in just a second. Convinced that it will seal his victory in the mayoral election, Reed decides to market it as Hateno Village's new signature staple. From now on, you can buy Hateno cheese not just at the pasture, but also at the Hateno Village's general store and from merchants on the road. Yeah, we got the Hateno milk from merchants on the road before, but the cheese is new. Mr. Bear Type says, I got a purple bunny mask that makes your side climbing faster. Oh, that's gotta be Ravio's hood. You got too many side quests, you gotta do them all. That's this game engine for you. Lots of quests, lots of stuff to do. Mr. Jason says, my entertainment setup now has a Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons edition, Nintendo Switch OLED model, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom edition, Nintendo Switch 2, Sony PlayStation 4 Pro, the Sony PlayStation 5, and a Sony Blu-ray, and a DVD player, Mr. Coin. Wow. So not only are you a Nintendo person, you're also a PlayStation person. That's pretty cool. I have more of a collection of Xbox games than PlayStation games. It's just kind of how it worked. But I mean, PlayStation exclusives are cool. I wish I could. The only things I've actually probably managed to play on PlayStation, and I had a PS3 at one point. I had an Uncharted game that I played a little bit of. I played Infamous, didn't beat it. I played part of it. Then because they were virtual purchases, they went away when I traded the PS3 back in. What else? Oh, I'm forgetting one. I'm definitely forgetting one. Yeah, there's one game, it was on the tip of my tongue, and it's like my brain just forgot what it was. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Mr. Bear Type says, you got a bunch of PS3 games and you never really had an Xbox? Mr. Bear Type also goes on to say, that's the problem with digital, but we won't get into this argument. It's fine. Nah, let's turn it into a question. Physical, digital, or both? Which form of gaming medium do you prefer, and why? I don't mind either. I don't have a real preference. But if you're gonna, do it digital, if I'm gonna have a digital copy of something, I want guarantees that it can't just be ripped away from me. Because I quote unquote made Sony mad. That's what I want to avoid. Or I made Nintendo upset and now they bricked my Switch. Almost like it's got a kill switch in it or something. That's what I want to avoid. Mr. Jason says, so your entertainment setup based on retail prices, 2,134.95 pounds. You hear that off in the distance, my senators and inductees? That is an ad storm. In about 5 minutes, it'll blow over us, and then we can get right back to the gaming. Thanks. No, Boo, I know, but we gotta do something for pre-roll, right? You guys don't want to be inundated with ads every time you have to refresh your stream or anything. Them's the breaks. Now, if Twitch and YouTube screw the pooch, then wherever I stream next or make content for next, well, at least at least I won't have to play any ads on that, right? That would be the hope. Although I think if that happens, I'm basically doom screwed. But let's not go there. Mr. Jason says, and Mr. Coin, that's just devices plugged in. Right, the TV itself is also 2,000, original retail for 2,399 pounds. Yeah, so you've got like almost 10,000, like 10,000 US dollars or more of like entertainment equipment. That's just wild. I mean, I'm happy, but I can also be impressed and or concerned that it costs that much. But it's not like you paid for all that stuff in one sitting. Like you added to that whole pile over time, or parents or relatives or friends helped with gifting that stuff too. Like my computer pile here is like for $5,000 roughly, between the $3,200 I personally spent on my setup and like the $1,800 that my dad spent on gifting me the first computer. Yeah, about $5K. That's not counting digital games or anything. Gaming's a hobby. It's expensive. It's more expensive than books. If you guys want a nice cheap hobby, read a book. Read a book, listen to an audiobook. That's cheap. Go outside, garden. Yeah. I'm gonna get to the shilling, and then hopefully I have enough time to do all that. So, I did talk about the free, easy methods to help the channel grow, and of course you guys know that being here is more than enough for me. I really do truly appreciate your company. If, however, you do feel like being financially generous for any reason, I think it's this button here, if you guys want your names on these plaques that I read at the start of every stream, basically, being financially generous is how you would get your name, is how you would do that, either through a Twitch subscription, Patreon, or Coffee membership, which I recommend more than the Twitch membership, because Twitch is $6 and you could get most of the same benefits for $1 a month. Isn't that nice? You get over 84% savings by using Coffee or Patreon instead. All that stuff will be underneath the video player in the Linktree link. Feel free to click around on that. If you guys want to do direct donations or anything like that, that'll also be in the Linktree, or it will be in the underneath the donations panel in the About Me section. For you guys on YouTube, you get access to all of that through the Linktree in the description. It is toward the bottom of the description, although I have considered doing a pinned comment. I'm still experimenting with what I think will get people the most mileage with that. Based on the amount of time I probably have left, I might be able to read one or two of these. Let's see. Mr. Jason says, it also doesn't include the games for the consoles. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you go on to sit. Mr. Bear Type says, you got a video game collection with like a bunch of stuff, so you don't know the value. That's fair. The most important part is the sentimental value, the entertainment value. You're not collecting this stuff to sell, right? I will read all the remaining comments when we come back from break. Thank you very much. My apologies about that, folks. I am back. I put on my headphones wrong. Let's fix that. Thank you, Mr. Bear Type. Let's check in on all of those lovely comments. Nobody on YouTube today, but that's fine. Thank you, Mr. Jason. Now let's catch up on all these lovely non-personal comments. If people are generally chatting at each other with like replies or something, I'll read like the contents of the thing, but I won't read it out loud. So let's see, where do we leave off? Exact TV. That's a very specific model of TV. For a 55-inch 4K 120 FPS OLED TV. Wow, those are some really nice specs. And then let's see. Mr. Jason says, Mr. Coin, I have 59 Nintendo Switch games that were the following prices. Did you like write all these down? You must keep immaculate records. 57 are 49.99 pounds, and 2 are 59.99 pounds when they were first released, and so that would have cost a grand total of 2,969.41 pounds. So we're up to basically like 13,000 pounds in terms of like goods for games. But you actually have 132 games for Switch, and that doesn't include duplicate copies. Yeah, bear type, exactly. That's my reaction. Like 132. Whoa. Bear type says I got like 50-ish for the Switch, and 1 for the Switch too. Mr. Bear type then goes on to say you got over 250 PS3 games that your dad bought. He likes that console. Nice, nice. My folks aren't. I mean, my sibling is, but my sibling and I are cut from partially the same cloth when it comes to games. They like a lot more indie titles than I do. With me and my sibling, my overlap is mostly in the form of like, you know, either open world MMO RPGs or open world RPGs or Souls titles. That's like one of the, you really would think that someone who likes cozy games wouldn't also be a Souls gamer, but they are. They are, and they're an Elden Ring gamer as well. Like, it's always fascinating when you sit and ask yourselves, you know, both you and like your siblings, your brothers, your sisters, and what have you, game with you, but they like completely different stuff. My sibling and I like completely different things out of games for the most part. But there's that bit of overlap, and you wouldn't think Souls games would be one of those overlaps, but they are. And very specifically FromSoft Soulsborne titles. Mr. Jason says, I love how now based on retail price, the singular TV is more than a Switch OLED, Switch 2, PS4 Pro, PS5, and a Blu-ray player / DVD. Yeah, that if an actual good TV that's also a smart TV, yeah, you paying big bucks for that. Absolutely. US bucks, Canadian bucks, you know, UK pounds, the euro dollar does not matter. You paying big bucks for that stuff. Mr. Bear Type says you just started Demon Souls, actually. Never tried one, but I heard this one is the easiest. And it's not like you can play whatever one you want. That's fair. Demon Souls is like a product of its time. Are you playing the, out of curiosity, Mr. Bear Type, are you playing the OG port, like the original port of the game, or are you playing the, like the remake remaster? Because they're like two different versions of that game now. The PS3 one, yeah, that's going to be the OG one. Okay. Demon Souls is definitely a product of its time. Since you just started, I think you'll see that in some of the game design elements as you continue to play. Like the sort of, here's this cockamamie BS that the game is going to have you do in order to unlock certain things. Now, I have not played Demon Souls. I know of it, and I'm not going to spoil it or anything. But Soulsborne titles have a formula to them, and you're probably going to be shaking your head once you see some of the things they thought were reasonable for you to do in like the early mid 2000s when this game released. Heck, no, was Demon Souls like pre 2000? That's got to be a Google. Hold on, I'm gonna Google that, and then we gotta change gears and come back to help with CC later, because I want to get us into the cave. I don't want to make a thumbnail and then not do what's on the thumbnail. No, don't type symbols into the prompt, Coin. Really? No, there's no way. Is it actually that old? But when was Dark Souls 1 released? So the year of release for Demon Souls was 2009. Am I like an old fogey or something? Hold on. I need to know. 2011. Okay, my goodness. Mr. Jason says he'll need to lurk for a little while. Very well, Mr. Jason. Enjoy your lurk, good sir. And also, you didn't add the Switch 2 into the calculations. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, that's like 15,000 pounds of gaming equipment. You know, to say nothing of how much the games actually... Well, not nothing. You did mention what the games cost, but, you know, that's like a very small fractional part of it. Yeah, gaming setups do be expensive. That's kind of part and parcel of how it goes, right? You pay for a hobby, you play with the hobby, you live with the hobby, you die with the hobby. Kind of how it works. Mr. Bear Type says, I do have the Dark Souls 2, but you hear that's odd sheep. Oh, assuming you get finished with Demon Souls, oh, Dark Souls 2 is an odd sheep, but I would say it's like the most narratively complete Dark Souls out of all of them. And if you don't mind the DLCs, adding extra difficulty on top of the base game. Oh, Dark Souls 2, and especially the Scholar of the First Sin edition. Oh, chef's kiss. Is it as good as Dark Souls 3? No. It's still clunky. But Dark Souls 2 is... it's my favorite Dark Souls of all time. I know that... I'm gonna get... That's a cancelable comment for sure, but... I just like the narrative element of Dark Souls 2 more than I do 3. It wasn't pandering to anything. There's no constant nostalgia bombs being dropped left and right. It tried to be its own story, and I can really appreciate that. Let's see, Mr. Jason says everything is basically $10,169.98, with the TV being $3,000 of that. Yeah, that's expensive. Lurk for real though? Yep, you do that. I'll make sure I've not missed anything. I think if you don't mind challenging or somewhat frustrating games sometimes, I think you'll enjoy Demon Souls. It's one of the only Souls games I've not played. I want to. I'm gonna have to wait for the remake to become more publicly available than it is. It's like a PlayStation exclusive right now. It's awful. As someone who doesn't have a PlayStation console anywhere, yeah, someone who doesn't have that console anywhere, it's really, I'm really sad. Let's see, Mr. Bear Type then goes on to say, I do know the whole Bloodborne thing where it's only on PS4 and people are pissed. Yes. It's been almost 15, 20 years. Since okay, maybe not quite that long. That's like Dark Souls levels of old. I think it's closer to like 10 years. Between 10 and 15 years. It should have just been released to the public right now. But Sony is keeping a death grip on that game. They are milking it for every little penny it's worth. And they are not giving up their exclusivity agreement on it. There are people doing demakes. Digital demakes with like pixels to get around this. And even then, those projects are basically, you know, cease and desisted. But can you blame everybody for... Can you blame people for wanting to literally make what is probably FromSoft's best or even second best work available to the public? No! Let go of the exclusivity agreement. Money is getting tight in this economy anyway, Sony. Just open it up to the market. Let people spend on fantastic games. I said Reese earlier with this guy's name. It's Reed. The village mayor election has gotten closer than I'm comfortable with, but this Hateno cheese is a perfect new signature food for the village. With this on my side, I can't lose. Thanks for helping me out so much with everything, really. All right. Let's see if we can't get the remaining people wearing hats. Won't be long now before they're ready to hold that election for mayor. Both Reed and Cece mean well for our village. That much is plain to see. The question on my mind is, what are they going to do to preserve the traditions we built this place on? Well, it's like, are you doing the hat thing now? We've been trying to do the hat thing. It's not time to vote yet, right? Or did the completion of the cheese quest, Did the completion of the cheese quest spoil this whole thing for me? It definitely might have. Okay. Who else? Who else has hat? Trying to think of who else. I should probably talk to Miss Cece and see what else is going on. What's this? Did we forget our mission to hand out mushrooms to Reed voters and paint them in CC colors? That means we still have 3 villagers waiting for their complimentary mushrooms. We mustn't rest until there's a mushroom in every Reed voter's hands. Are there any further questions? Who are Reed's voters? Pasture care little for fashion. Go see about changing their minds. There's old man TotK who's retired. Walk up to the hill, to the lab each and every morning. If he's not there, check outside the pasture. Okay, let's try to look around for these. I'll spend a little longer on this. But then, you know, we might need to make sure we take a quick trip to the, Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to like move quick. I want to like get this thing done and dusted. All right, little one. I have to give hats to you? Oh no, wait. She said no children. First, actually suspicious guy I met. I could tell as soon as I saw you. Oh, but I'm not supposed to talk to the suspicious ones. I probably gave that child a real spook. That's not usually how that type of job is supposed to work. I guess I need to check inside the houses. That's probably going to be where some of these folks are. Oh my goodness. You're looking for a Choo-Choo? You need to film him? Oh my god. Where are there Choo-Choo at? They're found all over the place. I'm trying to think of like any clear spots that have it. Well, I guess this gives me a good time to, like, talk about this. In a particularly non-spoilery way. So if you guys want to, like, look stuff up and you're not sure on where it is, right? Let's say you've been looking for days and you're just exhausted. You're tired of looking around with no real success. For you guys on Twitch, if you type in !TOTK MAP, you guys will get the object map, and that will, you can look up all kinds of stuff on there. There are all kinds of separators. There are map areas that you can sort things by. There's grid maps. There are, like, spawn point locations that are marked. All kinds of stuff. One of the things you could do is search for objects. There will be a little magnifying glass. If you go in and just start typing, if you're looking for actual choo-choos, for example, you'll type in choo-choo, one word, and you'll probably get a list of objects that correspond. You just find one that looks like an enemy or an actor of sorts, click on it, and once you've actually, exited the search panel or whatever, or the search prompts, it'll actually point out all of the objects, quote unquote, that have that exact same designation as the thing you're looking up. So there are probably 50 different actors with the Choo-Choo's ID that you can find, as an example. Split between the 3 maps. For you guys on YouTube, you can access the same stuff by typing in *TOTK MAP. I'm not sure what's going on with, the bot's been putting out commands, but it's not really, no, okay, it has been spitting stuff out. That's good. Okay. Yeah, there should be a list of commands somewhere. And of course, if you are trying to look around and find that, you can also join the Discord. I have a whole channel dedicated to all my commands that you can find. It's in one nice, neat tab. Mr. Beartype says you need to go, but have fun, and nice seeing you back. Thank you, Mr. Beartype, and it's good to see you, too. Thank you again. Do rest well, my lovely senator and inductee, and with that, let's see about getting these last 3 villagers with a hat fitted on their head, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna lock in while I find this. Okay, that's the general store. He's already wearing a hat. And we have... Greetings and salutations. Oh, you also have a quest. Did you bring me some reference material for a choo-choo pattern? I do, in fact, have that picture. Yes. Ooh, so that's a choo-choo. I can feel the inspiration bleeding into reality. I'll start developing this pattern at once. All tone. With your help, I've made a very pretty pattern. You can have the fabric I worked up as thanks. Tough fabric bearing a choo-choo design. It looks, yeah, the whole paraglider thing. I knew I'd get a different result with some quality reference. I betcha I could make some other patterns too. In fact, I made a list of patterns I'd like to dye out. When you get your hands on anything I might use as a reference, come on in and show it to me. If I have the reference, I can make the original pattern. I can make an original pattern for you to walk out the door with. Looking forward to seeing what we can do together. If you're not a pigment of my imagination, you must be a customer. Rework paraglider. You found yourself some fabric? I've been dying to try this out. Reference material. I have a new reference. Ooh, that's a Lionel, all right. I can feel the inspiration bleeding into reality. Oh, are we gonna get a striped, Are we gonna get like a Lionel design on the paraglider? I put dye, sweat, and tears into this magnificent beauty. You can have the fabric I worked on as thanks. Nice. I knew I'd get a different, some other time. And if you get your hands on any other reference materials, I want to see them. Leave no stone unturned. I want to leave, I definitely don't want to leave any stone unturned. Okay, that's your place. What about you? There's nobody in here. There are people out in various pastures. Huh? Do you need something from me? Have a shroom. Any shroom. What's this? Something from CC? Yeah, pretty obvious from the look of it. You know, people keep talking up this CC brand stuff, but it never really clicked with me. I know the lady works hard, but most of us farmers around here aren't too precious about our clothes. But sure, thanks for the mushroom. That's mighty nice of you. That's what, 2 left? Yep, there are 2. Count them, 2 farmers left that we gotta find somehow. Maybe there's a Isn't there a retired chap in here? Yeah, well, he's not here. I sure hope I won't have to wait too long. I do like that we can just steal from people in this game. Sometimes. Can't always, but sometimes. Any other pastures around here? No, I don't think so, but I don't know why I'm putting out a drawl on my voice all of a sudden. Okay, who else? Okay, maybe there's someone at the school, and I know there's also a chap up that hikes up on the hill that may or may not also want a hat, aka need a hat. I just hope I've got it in time. Ah, hello. If it's all right with you, I'd like your help in researching the calamity. Right now, my stumbling block is figuring out how to help the children understand the lesson I'm teaching. I wish I could show the children a detailed image of the screen depicting the calamity found in Hateno Village. I think they'd understand in no time if they had a visual aid. Okay, so nothing. It's probably too late already, now that I'm thinking on it. But I'm gonna bloody well try, gosh darn it. And if we end up electing Reed, then so be it. Anyone in the inn? Might be. Dang it. Get up there. Hey there. If you have in business, they'll take care of you at the counter. It's probably my wife Prima you'll be dealing with. Every time I show my face around there, she demands to know why I'm not wearing CC brand clothes, so I'm keeping my distance till the fad dies down. I never knew my dear Prima was the type to get so worked up about fashion. I mean, ladies are very good at getting inside people's heads, I gotta say. I mean, dudes can too, but oh man, it's there's definitely it's that whole emotional manipulation thing, right? Women are really good at that, like on average. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that men can't be emotional manipulators or anything, but the way that men and women do it is just completely different. It's completely different. One is very direct and you know, perhaps a bit more upfront about the manipulation, and the other is like actual S tier manipulation, like conniving levels of manipulation. If you want to know, if I had to choose between a man or a woman, an AMAB or an AFAB person, to like how would I get back at someone, I'm going to choose the AFAB person every time, because they're more likely to try to like get inside a person's head and figure out how they work, like honestly and truly enough to cause that sort of discomfort. It's emotional. It's emotionally charged logic, and AFAB people are very good at that. Sorry about that. You caught me as I was eating my daily Hateno veggies. They're very nutritious. How else do you think I've lived this long? Dang it. Welcome back, Mr. Jason. I'm incredibly pleased you received the, hold on, I just cut that off. The letter from Nintendo on your new island for your Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing New Horizons that says, "Dear Jason, thanks for using the specially colored Joy-Cons released in association with Animal Crossing New Horizons. To show our appreciation, we're sending you this gift. Hope you enjoy it. From Nintendo." And it is the actual in-game ACNH Nintendo Switch furniture item. Most people only have it, but only owners of the specific system get it in the mail. That's cool. It's like a neat little appreciation reward. That's nice. I guess we're gonna rest at the end. I had no idea Wharton could be so stubborn. He would always humor me before we got married, no matter what I asked. Would it be so hard for him to wear a simple CC brand hat? I don't understand why he's this dead set against it.
Huh?
Oh, can I help you? Ooh, I can't really be dwelling on that right now. Not while I'm on the clock. Good evening. You must be ready to relax for the night after a long journey. Welcome to Tonpu Inn. Will you be staying with us today? A regular bed is 20 rupees, or if you're looking for a more relaxing and restorative mind and body experience, you can have one of our extra soft, downy beds for 30 rupees. Soft bed, please. Very well, one downy soft bed, and I would like to be woken up at noon. Mr. Jason says it is just like I come here and get amazing content. Flattery will get you everywhere. A welcome bonus. Quality content can only be found on the Coin Stamp channel. After all, well, that's not the only place we can find quality content. Literally any of our operators at the Troll Castle Collective, I probably got that wrong. But literally anyone in our network has quality content. There are people that post on in that Discord server every day and work really hard. I'm sure they're all very nice people. But you specifically said quality content. Yes, I heard you. I heard you, Mr. Jason. I appreciate it. I was just using your statement as a springboard for, oh, maybe I could talk about the group of people that I'm with now. That's all. I want to try to find these 2 villagers. I'm going to lock in and do that. So I'm going to be less chatty for a few minutes while I attempt to find these last 2 stragglers. Because if I... Nice, Zelda. Thank you. I guess that opens up grinding opportunities for tomorrow. I have nothing else. How was the downy soft bed? Did you get a deeper sleep than usual? Well, at any rate, safe travels. Okay, I don't even know which 2 people I need to go find. Yeah, any of our verified streamers or staff are makers of great content. Too true, Mr. Jason. Too true. I will eventually get around to checking them all out. But I gotta not be exhausted first. I also have to not be thinking about how I want to deal with my long-form content drought. And that is part of why I asked what I asked in my Discord server. That's also my attempt at like rebranding and fixing a few things, because I don't like not keeping up with my promises. I hate that. But I also will not apologize for real life either. You pretty much mod for all your staff team as well, Mr. Coin. So, out of curiosity, how many streams do you keep open? Multiple streams at once to do all that? Because I know a lot of moderators do that. I've talked to a handful, and they all pretty much keep somewhere between like 2 and 5 open at any given time. So I'm just curious if you do that as well, Mr. Jason. Or if you're a bit more like myself, where it's like I don't feel comfortable keeping open multiple different content creators open at the same time. I guess it's different because you moderate, right? You probably do have to do that. I would have commitment issues. I feel like I wouldn't be doing anyone any justice by operating on multiple streams. I might forget what one person or another person is saying, unless I just literally have nothing but collective chats open. And then if I have to do that, I'm gonna forget, what the streamer is saying. I just think that leads itself to be a very confusing mess. We were pretty sure one dude was gonna be up here. CC said as much. But has he made his hike yet? Yes, he has. So there's just one more person I need to find. What do you want with an old man like me? Here you go, TotK. Have a hat. You say this is from Cece. Well, that's generous of her. Thanks. What's this? That's a fine-looking mushroom you brought me. Seems like lately Cece's mushrooms are popping up everywhere around here. Makes my eyes water a bit to see those flashy colors wherever I turn. My family and all my friends my age tend to take life slower than she does. Still and all, it'd be rude to turn down a generous gift. Thank you. We only have one left, and it's not Robbie. I almost guarantee that. Okay, so I'm gonna go look up this last person I need to find, because we have maybe 20 minutes. I mean, I can push over if I have to, but I would really prefer not to. Just puts me behind in the email department more than anything. So this is what here? Yeah. What quest is this? It would be... Okay, it's Team CC or Team Reed. Okay, so Uma is one of them. So we have Uma, Wharton, and Dan's we've confirmed already. Koyan, Tamana, Imeta, yep, Leop. Okay, so the only one I have not found is Uma. Okay. So that's the school's farm in specific. Mr. Jason says, I don't know where I'd put it, but I can generally only focus on one streamer specifically with volume, as you have a disclaimer you might not be able to attend all of the time, but you do try to engage as much as possible. Yeah, I appreciate that. Absolutely. You love moderator. Some people think that it is power, but for you, you consider it trust. It's both. Modding comes with a lot of great privileges. I mean, You know, you can initiate slow mode. You can operate any number of commands that you have access to. You even have access to commands that nobody else knows about. I sort of trust you to know what my cues are, and you know, if people are being unruly, you can help me deal with them. There is a lot of power in that. But I think real moderators also understand this, as you're saying, and see it as a responsibility, not and you know, also a matter of trust. It's okay. It's up here. Yeah, it's up here. She's got to be up here. This is the school's farm. If I looked at this correctly, that is, which I probably didn't. Ah, there you are, down there. Hello, Miss Uma.
Oh.
Can't hardly call this a field yet. It'll need a lot more work before it's through. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Jason, for what that's worth. And thank you for answering that question. I know if I were moderator, I would be unable. I would have to, like, do a rotating schedule of sorts. I could not be there all the time if I modded for more than one person. Well now, what's a wanderer doing in our neck of the woods?
Oh.
Going where you please is a perk of being a traveler, eh? Chalk it up to fate and let me tell you about this place. This is the Hateno school field. Right now it's more like an empty lot, but it used to be a good little field. I aim to get it back in shape so it could support crops again. It's hard work fixing up a plot after it's gone to seed. It'll be a spell before anyone can plant anything here. Did you have something to say? Hat. Take a hat.
Ah.
A gift from Cece? Thanks for that. The world of fashion moves too fast for us old folk. But I'm in favor of any mayor who can make sure this village stays a place where the younger folk are happy to live. Alright, Team Cece or Team Reed? It's nice that that's all done up really nice. You consider Mr. Jason goes on to say, you consider yourself more of a watcher. Moderator in that you only generally do things in mod options if the streamer asks, unless it's a scam or a bot. Yeah, some streamers will definitely need help with scams or bots. Luckily, I have KumaBot and SariBot for all that, so you don't have to do that unless it's like a real human scammer, but Mr. Jason then goes on to say, I'm so knowledgeable and experienced with moderator that I was in a stream once as a viewer, and a moderator was categorically wrong, and you politely let them know, and they started trouble, but then later actually apologized to you. That's awesome. It's nice that people can come around and admit when they're wrong on things. It's a sign of humility more than anything else. Let's head back over. We're ready to talk to Cece. We're ready to get this election done and dusted. I want to be done with Hateno for a long time. And getting this election done and dusted is how we're going to do that. On Reddit, you generally always put, but I could be wrong, just in case. Right, you try to leave yourself open to being out of date or incorrect on something. Oh, have you handed them out already? Oh, we delivered all my little gifts, I see. Well done. That ought to help a few of those Reed voters see the light. Here you go, a sign of my gratitude. A big hearty truffle. Yeah, these are really nice. It's a rare mushroom worth more than most can afford. As you're on Team CC, I expect you to eat it and fire yourself up for the mayoral election coming up. I believe I remember Sophie saying not long ago that the preparations for the mayoral election were complete, so your timing is excellent. Speak to Sophie about the next steps. It seems that candidates have finished their preparations. Talk to Sophie in front of Ventus Clothing to get the Hateno Village mayor election underway. It's almost time. Everything's ready. It's time to get the election for village mayor started. Nice day for an election, don't you think? Everyone's gathering in the plaza. If this is a cutscene, I'm gonna laugh. And now, without further ado, let's have each of our candidates for mayor say a few words. Hi, I'm Reed. I believe that the heart of our village is its pastoral culture. We've built a close-knit, self-sufficient lifestyle here in Hateno, and I don't want to see us lose that. My plan is to strengthen our community with new local specialties, starting with our brand new Hateno cheese. I am the world-renowned Cece, Hyrule's premier fashion designer, but you knew that, of course. Together, we could turn this backwater village into Hyrule's go-to destination for all things stylish. Vegetables don't make the world go around. It's glamour that rakes in the cash. And nobody knows glamour like me, darlings. Fashion comes and goes. Your style is trendy now, but it'll be over soon, and then where will we be? Nonsense! It's trends that shape the world, not the other way around. Porque no la dos. It can be both. I don't know. Well, it's only election. Why we have to be mad? That's enough. Thank you. Sophie? Both of you are just arguing for more of what you like, not what's best for Hateno. You can't fool me, Cece. You've loved simple, plain things forever, including the vegetables of Hateno Village. I know for a fact that you hide in the silo at night to snack on vegetables. This isn't like some groundbreaking secret. This is so asinine. I should have labeled this thumbnail with this image. Moi? Wherever did you get such a curious notion? And you, Reed? Your secret's out too. I know why you've been secretly studying Cece's designs in the shed. You think there's something you can use to get the youth to care about vegetable farming. Now, who went and told you that? Cece, I can't deny any of it. It should have made me happy that you came in and livened up the village. No, Reed, it is I who should be ashamed. My childish pride would not allow me to admit the truth. Oh my god. The trends and style I made my name on are built on the foundation of traditional culture that our forebears worked for. Please, forgive me, everyone. I'm sorry, too. Sophie, I hereby withdraw my candidacy. Cece, wait. I'd be a fool to pretend you're not the reason our village is flourishing. I don't want to deny you your due. Did I hear you say you're working on new vegetables to attract the youth of today? That sounds like a Cece-worthy endeavor. There's nothing wrong with asking if you can help, you know. People of Hateno, we've come to a decision. The best way to keep Hateno Village vibrant is to work together to combine traditional culture with new ideas. Is the mushroom decor gonna disappear now? Sophie and Clavia told me what you did on our behalf. Thanks to you, Hateno Village is thriving once more. We ought to reward such fine work, Come to Ventus Clothing when you have a moment. I definitely mislabeled this thumbnail, just based on the time I have left. The Hateno Village mayoral election ended with Reed staying on as mayor. However, Reed and Cece decided to join forces in making Hateno Village a thriving community. And she has asked that you visit Ventus Clothing so that she can give you a thank you gift. Well, Cece, let's do it. I knew, of course, that you'd been in cahoots with Sophie, but I never dreamed you'd also been conspiring with Clavia. Still in all, we can call that election a success. Do you remember what we discussed when you first came here? This CC hat is the latest masterpiece from the CC collection. See those luxurious curves, the avant-garde colorway? Everything about that hat is perfect. And so I've been saving it to bequeath to the perfect model. Do you grasp yet what I'm getting at? It's you that I want to model my CC hat. You who saved not just Hateno Village, but also me and Reed. My perfect hat is unsuitable for anyone else to wear. And besides, let's not pretend it won't look absolutely dashing on you. Here we are. An avant-garde masterpiece made by CC, guaranteed to make a fashionista's heads turn. Now put on that CC hat and lord it over the whole world. Tidy, I shall reinvent myself and open Ventus clothing anew. Sophie, there's work to be done, sister. Oh my goodness. Is she gonna drop the fancy garb? No. As for myself, I've had a long think about where to take my brand from here. To begin with, I'll study my collection of unique goods designed by our forebearers. See me if you happen to part ways with precious apparel that's too rare to be purchased. I might have something in my collection that can serve as a guide. The Hateno Village mayoral election ended with Reed continuing... Oh, I already read this. But Reed and CC, right, worked together to ensure Hateno Village would continue to thrive. CC gave you her masterpiece, the CC hat, as a thank you for wrapping things up peacefully. Let's see. Mr. Jason says, my only small issue is you need to replace your original Switch's battery. These things have a battery? I guess they would have a battery, huh? I'm gonna have to think about that eventually. Mr. Jason also goes on to say, I like my fair share of lording over things at TCC, but as an example, but as soon as you got that gaudy hat, I never put it on. Fair. Well, I'm not gonna do CC that dirty. I'm gonna... Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? What? I expected the hat, not the wig. Is this like a hat? What? No, it's a wig and a hat. What the hell? That's gotta get captured. That's gotta get more than captured. Self-portrait. Yes. Just like this. And what perfect... Can I do it like this? If I get the posture right? Keep old picture. All of this for a bob haircut with a gaudy hat stapled on top of it. But you know what, my lovely senators? At least it doesn't have gold trim, right? At least it doesn't have gold trim. At least it's not gold mushrooms with gold lame on top of those mushrooms. At least it's not, entirely gold-studded objects or something crazy like that. Now, we have, 8 minutes? Let's do what I came here for, shall we? But also, I guess, before we do that, right, I do want to make sure we've collected... I really, truly want to be done with Hateno. I don't want to even think about coming back here for a while, other than to buy things. So let's collect the Korok Seeds on our way out, and then we'll conclude things at Oak's Navel. Mr. Shiny says, just 8 minutes left. Aw, dang it. Hey there, Mr. Shiny. Welcome on in. Good to see you, good sir. Hopefully you're doing well in both body and mind, and I hope you enjoy the short stay. Unfortunately, I would love to keep going and, I would love to keep going and do my normal streaming hours today, but I got a lot of emails I got to send out. I have to get ready for, going out with friends tonight. I'm going to go ahead and mark a couple of spots just real quick. We got this one up. Where's this? It's like, oh, it's here. It's here. And then the last one is like right at the school. Is that in front of it? Yeah, it looks like it's on top of the school. Okay. Any others? No. And so the last one is going to be... The last one we're going to grab is at Oakle's Navel. That's going to be... Oh, that's a friend? We need to find where the real friend is. Where's the friend? The friend is... over here-ish. Oh, goodness. The king of flattery, as always. Yeah. He's very good at that. It's like a part and parcel for what he does. But how are things in your little slice of terra firma? Mr. Shiny, if you don't mind my asking, you've come in on the tail end of a short stream. We just got done concluding a bunch of the small side quests associated with the Team CC versus Team Reed election. And I can't say that I was surprised. You hear that off in the distance, my senators and inductees? That is an ad storm. In about 5 minutes, it'll blow over us, and then we can get right back to the gaming. Thanks. We're actually going to ignore that timer. And the reason we're going to ignore that is because why would I play an ad at the end of the stream? That's really ridiculous. No way, Jose. But it's nice to know that the advertisements still work. It's not a perfect system. I wish my advertisements were a perfect system. My warnings were a perfect system. I have them designed to work for... They're designed to work for, like, normal operating hours. They're very much not designed to work for different operating hours. All right, where is... I better get rid of you before things get out of hand. I gotta figure out where these balloons are. Mr. Shiny says, it's all going well. The wedding of your cousin is next week. Awesome. And you'll be going with your dear friend? Awesome. You just attending the wedding? Are you, gonna be like like an assistant to like the groom or something, or just there as a simple viewer, or a simple attendee, merely curious? Go ahead and mark that lovely thing. And we're gonna warp back. That's gonna go way faster. As a regular guest, you can see that too, Mr. Coin. Weddings are so emotional that even the cake is in tears. Where is it? It's right here. No stretching, so no Shurjan for... Okay, does Nadra just, like, spawn here, or what? Because I just warped, and Nadra is right there. I would be real curious to know. I'm pretty sure that is not her spawn position. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Mount Lanayru. That should be her spawn position. I find that hilarious. Random rock. Random rock. Okay. Got the random rock. I should be marking these on my map. If you guys do want to follow along with the Koroks that we are collecting... Oh, I think I just marked the wrong ones. If you guys want to see, you know, where exactly I'm getting the information for finding these Koroks, oh, there's one literally right here at the tech lab. Just didn't look at it. Exclamation mark TOTK MAP on Twitch or asterisk TOTK MAP on YouTube will get you the access to the hyperlink. I use that. I use this map all the time to help me find Korok Seeds because I cannot be arsed to go find 300 random rocks. I think that's super stupid. Okay, picking up random rocks isn't always stupid, but sometimes I feel like it is. Sitting on top of random trees you wouldn't even think twice about is one of them. Okay, this has got to be it right here. Wouldn't you know? No! Get back up there, Link. That'd be an awesome command. Says Mr. Jason. Maybe I could come up with like an appreciation command. It would have to be generic. I think that one is a little bit too specific, but that could be an interesting one to fiddle around with for a hot minute. Okay, I've gotten that one. Which one did I mismark here? Okay, no. We got those. Next one's out there at Lake Sumac. Let me swap over to YouTube. Oh, about that, Mr. Shiny says, unlike in Breath of the Wild, dragons are flying in real time instead of game time. That means you can't use a campfire to farm dragon parts. Oh no, and I'm willing to bet you can't manipulate the console clock in order to farm parts either, huh? Yeah, I already thought about that. I remember fiddling around with my console clock when I played through Animal Crossing New Horizons, because I was just wanting to have fun with it, not really... Well, I did things honestly, and then I fiddled around with it, but... In both games, farming those creatures tends to drag on. Tell me about it. I know it's dragon. I know it's dragon. I said it like how I thought the joke would read. And given that I'm already on kind of a short leash in terms of like how far I can go over clock, I am gonna cut and run. I will make up I will do a makeup stream on Sunday. I think that's going to be how I'm going to go about making things up to you guys. I also want to, like, do some just extra streams anyway. I just have to find ways to fit them in. Goodbye, Mr. Coin. Goodbye, Mr. Jason. Thank you so much for stopping by and keeping me company. I very much appreciate it. I hope to see you back, either Sunday or when the stream would normally start on Monday. Either one works. But you've been a blessing. Thank you. Rest well and be well, my lovely senator inductee. Mr. Shiny says modifying the console's clock doesn't work either. Oh, so they thought about that, huh? That's interesting. But how would they know what the real world time is? Is it operating on, like, internal communications? That would actually be pretty curious. I would love to know more. That's, like, behind-the-scenes type stuff. I'm willing to bet our friend the Korok Seed is probably right on top of the steeple of the schoolhouse. Right? Either that or it's ring the bell. Let's see if it's the bell. That may not have been enough to ring the bell there. Mr. Jason says an idea. What's up with the idea, Mr. Jason? Mr. Shiny says after shedding apart, dragons enter a 10-minute timer before it recharges, and that interval cannot be skipped. And a 10-minute real world timer, right? So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let me try using a bomb here and see if that makes a difference. Okay. That also doesn't work. What gives? What's up with this, No, that's the school. What's up with this, Korok Seed? It is... Okay, it is correct. Good point, Mr. Shiny. Why work hard when you can work smart? Right? This is one of those...
I'm going to bend what I want, when I want, who I want.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where once you remember you have powers, you really are quite invincible. Mr. Jason says, when you begin next stream, you could apologize for the inaccurate thumbnail of today's stream by saying you are fashionably late. Yes, I probably could do that. I am at least going to keep going. I have to keep going until we've made it to Oakle's Navel, but not a step further beyond that. Like I said, time is limited. Every minute I chew up is one more minute I could be behind. So I better quit prattling on and get to it, huh? Mr. Shiny, while I happen to have you here, if you're still here, that is, have you had an opportunity to look at the Discord message and the Roundtable Holds channel on the server? And if you have, I was curious if you had any thoughts about the question in general. If not, that's totally fine. That's completely fine. I'm curious if people see it. Oh, you'll check it out? Very well. You have plenty of time to do that. No rush for an answer. I was just curious if it was seen. Because, even though I am going through on executive privilege with that question, like, you know, I'll be making a command decision, right? Having feedback would be nice to have, just to kind of get a feeler for where everyone's heads might be. I see that shooting star over there. Too bad I'm not going to be able to collect that. Okay, where's our friend the Korok? Is he like... he's like right over there. Okay, thank goodness. No, I have it wrong. Where is he? Also, am I at the right spot, though? Yeah, I am. I just definitely flew over it for sure. It's not like I'm incapable of making decisions for myself or anything. And I have a direction I'm leaning towards. But... And, of course, if the... people aren't compelled to pick one either. It's not a closed question. It can be I don't care either way. Yes. I'm here to fly you over to the basin, my friend. Nice and gentle. And then we'll kind of wrap up stream for today. I think we've made a lot of good progress. I mean, it's short, but for what I wanted, we spent most of it on the village. We spent most of it on the village, to be sure, but, you know, we've at least collected a few more Koroks. Thank goodness. It's finally done. Are there any more? I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have like a handful of Korok Seeds left to collect, and then we can start exploring the various cave systems. I'll mark those before stream starts on Sunday, along with an actually accurate thumbnail. You can go ahead and save here. My senators and inductees, you guys have been awesome. I really appreciate the company today. Mr. Shiny says, your first-hand answer is that you're fine with whatever. Honestly, that's about what I expected. And that's totally fine. I appreciate you even weighing in at all. That just means that both you and Mr. Jason have more or less said the exact same thing. So, assuming everyone else says more or less the exact same thing, you know, I'm free to pick whichever one and do it however I want. Which would be fun. I do so enjoy a good modded game. I enjoy modding my games. I can make a real modded adventure out of either Outward or Elden Ring. And I can't wait to show people either one of those fantastical worlds, assuming that that opinion holds up. This has been another short episode of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Next time, we'll be grabbing Koroks and exploring caves. Mr. Jason says, if you streamed Animal Crossing New Horizons, you can play with mods too. You play that game? Too true. Too true, Mr. Jason. Too true. If I mod my Switch now, though, it's getting bricked. I mean, it probably isn't going to get bricked because I'm going to be smart about it, but I don't intend on modding my Switch. There's a lot of things you have to do in order to mod it effectively. I don't want to take that chance. Mr. Shiny says we're here for the streamer, not the game necessarily. Although Tears of the Kingdom was what made you join in the first place. Right, that's like the other thing I'm having to balance here too, right? Is that my audience, for better or worse, mostly better, they're Zelda fans. That's what you guys are here for. You guys like Legend of Zelda stuff. And that's fine. You know, I'm willing to bet everyone would vote for Skyward Sword because that's the other game I actually have on Switch. People would vote for that if that were an option. But I'm more than that, right? I've played a lot of things on this channel. I've played plenty of non-Nintendo products. I've played Lies of P. I've played Steel Rising. I've played Elden Ring Reforged before for a challenge run, which would be what would be happening again if people leaned toward that option. I would be gearing up to do that particular challenge run somehow. I've played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've played Doki Doki Literature Club. I've played Fallout 3. I'm so much more than Nintendo products, but I also didn't have that much of an audience like I do now. So I guess I'm kind of coming to terms with that as a content creator. Even though I've been streaming for a long time, like a relatively long time, nobody in my audience ever really gave me input or direction up until like the past 2 years. I would not have played Lies of P or Steel Rising without community input, and I'm really thankful for that. But for a YouTube special, it's a little bit more difficult to... How do I word this? I'm not sure I'm ready to be committed to one kind of content, if that's making any sense. Like, I'm a variety gamer through and through, and while I can lock in and do specific things, my audience in the past has been variety content. That's what people were here for. If people are locking in on one specific kind of content, that kind of puts me at odds with myself sometimes. Then again, this will be long form. People either will or won't watch it. Mr. Shiny says Skyward Sword is definitely worth consideration, and variety gaming is definitely an option. Yeah, I am a variety gamer. It's just I'm doing 2 related games back to back, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom they're sequels to each other. So it feels like I'm a Zelda channel, but I'm not a Zelda channel. Although maybe that could be something I do baseline. It's like, okay, yeah, I do actually have a handful of Zelda titles. Maybe that could be a significant portion of my streaming or content creation repertoire. I don't know. Mr. Jason says, you join the stream for the streamer and you stay for the coin tent. The welcome bonus is shiny. Did you know that, Mr. Coin? I did, in fact, know that, Mr. Jason. I do appreciate the continual flattery, though. It definitely does get you everywhere. Mr. Shiny says you can rename yourself to Rupee Stamp. But then that messes with branding. But you're correct. That would be a nice idea. And I think if branding weren't important, I'd definitely do that. This is definitely entering the... These are things Coin has to care about because it's a meta level conversation, and not... These are things my audience should care about because it's important. It's not. As you two have already illustrated by saying, I'm here for the streamer, I'm here for the entertainer, not anything else. I'll respond to like the last couple of sentences, and then I truly do have to be out the door. Mr. Jason says, I was considering changing your username, Mr. Coin, but then you remembered that you kind of have an entire organization and brand behind it now. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, I used to be Coinstamp 180, right? Like, a number was part of my branding for a long time. Hell, on YouTube, I was Swirling Vortex 09 before I managed to consolidate behind, a single name. That took me a long time to get the ability to do. And if you've got people that recognize you for the name that you have, switching can be very complicated. I think for while you do have an organization and a brand name behind it, the TCC, it's like the Troll Castle. Like, that's the part of the branding that's familiar. The fact that you're Troll Castle King Jason, I personally feel, I'm not as familiar with the history, and that's not a knock on you. This is just, I don't know. I don't have a basis for why the full Troll Castle King Jason is important. Just that the Troll Castle part of it is important. That said, you also do have a separate account that also has Troll Castle in it, so you got to differentiate yourself somehow. You're also like the organization founder. It's like a very miry subject, right? Ultimately, the person who's going to have to address that is you. So you did say you were thinking about it, so I'm confident you'll have an answer to that at some point. Troll castles are the levels. King and queens live in the castles, and Jason is your name. Right, exactly. It has Like, there's a purpose behind the name, and you know that purpose, but not everybody does. And so sometimes I think people could latch on to like the Jason or the troll part of the name, but unless you did what you just did, where you explained to me why like the components of your name are what they are, a lot of people won't make the association about kings and queens or Jason. I could have a username called Big Boobs 5000. And people would be like, oh, so do you like big boobs? I'm like, no, I just came up with the name at random. Or whatever. Like, the name doesn't mean anything. Mr. Shiny says, Jason TCC could be an idea, but kind of a casual suggestion. Fair. And a lot of people would be confused if you changed your name. Yeah, that's true. You're also a moderator for various channels, so changing your name is even more complicated. I could certainly see why this is such a quarreling decision. That said, I'm confident that you'll be able to come up with, you know, the definitive answer on whether you do or don't. You were considering doing that to troll people. Fair. Would be on brand, but I think the confusion would outweigh the troll, personally, as you've probably already have come to realize in saying but nah. Speaking of but nah, well, but it's time for me to head out the door. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. My name is Coin. This has been another episode of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I will be streaming on Sunday. I do not know what time yet. I will put that on the Google Calendar. And that'll be on my Discord server. It's the best place to go to remain up to date on all of my scheduling. Please consider doing that. Mr. Shiny, Mr. Jason, Michael DS, and so many others, thank you so much for your company, your wonderful pleasure. My senators and inductees, do stay safe, do take care of yourselves. You're welcome in my hallowed halls anytime. See you guys next time. And with that, goodbye.